Hey guys, so obviously if you clicked on this video, you already know what it's about. I'm going to be talking to you about my septum piercing. I am only on day 4 of the healing process. I got it done 4 days ago. But I wanted to go ahead and let you know how it feels and how it felt to get it pierced, my pain, any problems that I have so far. And I just wanted to let you guys know my experience. Now I'm going to start this off by saying that everybody has a different pain tolerance. Everybody has their own limits, and what may not be painful to me may be very painful to you, and vice versa. So this is my experience and my pain level. I'd like to think I have a pretty high pain tolerance. I did have a baby without medicine, and I lived through that. So I think that's, pretty good, positive for pain level, huh? Obviously you can't see my piercing right now, and that is because when I got it pierced, each piercer does different things. They had different ways of doing it, and mine likes to do the staple piercing that you can flip up and let it stay up and heal for the entire 6 weeks before you actually put a horseshoe in it. So I do have a piercing in it, you just can't see it. I might try to get an up the nose shot for you guys. I hope there's no boogers, but if there are, just realize it's a nose, so I'm human. But I will try to get that for you after I'm done actually filming this part. So I do have the piercing in right now. I went with my best friend, and she has hers done, and the way that hers was done is different than how mine was done. My piercer had me lay down on the table and have my head hanging off the table. So she had me laying on the table with my head off the table. So to start with, I was getting really lightheaded because I also hadn't really been able to eat the past few days before that. I tried to put something in my stomach before, but I was a little bit nauseous at the time, and having her literally lay me down with my head off the table just made it so much worse. And then she took the soap and she started cleaning out the inner part of my nose where the septum piercing goes, and that also was kind of terrible because the soap was very strong and it was literally right in my nose, and I couldn't breathe for a good 15 seconds while she was doing it. And then she told me that the worst part that the entire piercing is the clamps, and she is very right about that because those clamps did not feel good. My eyebrow piercing, my ear, my tragus, they used clamps to, set the skin so that it doesn't move while you're piercing it, and in all honesty, those clamps actually helped because they kind of made it so that it was number when they, stuck you. But this clamp did the exact opposite. It was incredibly painful. It felt like I had really sharp caps on my nose, and that was not enjoyable. It really wasn't. And then she told me to take a deep breath and let it out, and in time she did go ahead and pierce it. That wasn't that bad. The actual needle going through didn't hurt that bad to me. It was really quick, really done, just like that. However, right after that, when she put in the piercing, for some reason it wouldn't come out the other end, so she did have to go back with the needle and actually kind of poke the skin that wouldn't open up and let it go so that it would finally go through and she could do it. The problem with her having to do that is that it now is not level. This side is down more and this side is up more. At first I thought that it was just because I was swollen and I was imagining things, but even whenever I had the staple down, you can see that it's pretty crooked. I'm hoping that whenever I put in a horseshoe piercing, it's not noticeable, it just looks fine, but that kind of irks me because I did spend $35 on this piercing, and to have it uneven kind of is really frustrating. It's very frustrating. My pain level right after having it done, I did cry, but it wasn't like a, oh my god, I'm in so much pain cry. It was more like a reaction, like, it's just something to do with the nose. When you get nose piercings, you're pretty much guaranteed to tear up, and I did tear up, and I was just like, man, I ain't no wimp, like, I can do this, like, these tears are nothing. So, I looked like I was, you know, in pain, but it was really only because that's just the reaction that you're gonna get whenever you get a nose piercing. How I felt right after it, honestly, didn't hurt afterwards either. I was told that it was gonna feel like I got punched in the nose, and that is kind of how it felt. It did feel kind of like swollen a little bit, like I did get punched in the nose. I didn't really have any issues the first day. I cleaned it exactly how she told me to clean it, which is with the Dial foaming soap, and it was good. The next day, however, I was so swollen, my nose was so swollen, like, I looked like Rudolph because this front part was so red, and this part over here was, like, so swollen out that I was just, like, I couldn't breathe out of my nose because it was so swollen, and I was terrified that it was already getting infected. But I cleaned my piercings, like, really good, so I don't know why it would have gotten infected, but I was so scared that that's what it was. But I know in my head I was really thinking, okay, this is normal, but you just get that reaction where you feel like, oh god, something's wrong. So I kept cleaning it, how, you know, not over cleaning it because you don't want to over clean a piercing. And the next day, the swelling had gone down, and, like, I could breathe again, and it wasn't so bad. This part right here still really hurt, like, a lot, but my nose itself wasn't painful, it wasn't sore, nothing. It did still kind of feel like I got punched in the nose, but it wasn't like an unbearable pain. Today is the 4th day, and pretty much all of the swelling's gone down, but what comes with the swelling going down is that I can now actually feel the staple piercing move in my nose, which makes me want to sneeze so much because I can feel it, like, tickling the inside of my nose. But I mean, it's not like unbearably uncomfortable, it's just kind of an annoyance. The swelling is pretty much gone. I am still kind of tender in this area, but it's not like touching it's gonna make me, like, start bawling crying, but it is kind of tender. Like I said, every person's pain is totally different. What may be tender to me could be like nothing to you, could be like a mosquito bite to you. But other than that, I haven't had any issues. I am getting the crusties that, you know, is normal for a piercing. You are going to get the crusties. It is going to smell a little bit while it's healing. That is normal stuff, okay? Try not to, like, pick off the crusties because that'll make it kind of scar out. Obviously the nose isn't really, the septum isn't really a place where I'm worried about, like, scarring, but any other piercing that you're gonna get, if there's crusties around it, try not to actually pick it, just clean it, keep it cleaned, because you're gonna scar out your piercing, pretty much. There's gonna be like a a pink ring around the piercing. Other than that, I haven't had any issues. This is, like I said, only the 4th day that I've had it. I will be doing another update video whenever it starts healing more, if I have any other issues with it, if I have any issues with it, if I have any problems, if I have any new observations about it, and hopefully whenever I actually get the horseshoe piercing into it, I can bring you guys along and let you guys see that part too, because that's, who doesn't like to see somebody get things stuck up their nose, right? So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please go ahead and comment about it, and I will try to answer it the best that I can. If you have a crooked septum piercing and yours looks fine, please let me know that down below, because I'm seriously so freaking out right now, because I've wanted this piercing for so long and I don't want it to be weird looking, you know. So thanks for watching, and I will get back to you guys later. Bye.